I have to upgrade my RAM. I have to remove my 4 GB and add a 8 GB directly. Then it becomes 16 GB. Okay, so already in my server I have a server 2016 image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my CentOS 7 is here. Why it is not copying? Maybe there is a little bit disturbance. It will copy. You can drag and drop. Yeah. If you got this symbol, okay, like that plus kind of stuff, just release it. Then it will copy here. Okay. So what is the sorry, someone came. Okay, so how it is possible? You have to install a VMware tools. If you install a VMware tools in your VMware virtual workstation virtual machine, so you can directly copy paste from your physical machine to virtual machine to physical machine. Actually, today we have to start the storage part, but yesterday these things are not working and other things. But slowly, better to learn. Why we should rest? We take more days to complete. That is important. Okay, in the morning, we are created an external switch, internal switch, and private switch also. So now we'll see how to create virtual machine in Hyper-V. Okay, so what we require to create a virtual machine? Nothing. Simply, there is only few points are very important. That is to create a virtual machine. You have to give name and location, of course, and how much RAM you require. That I will explain about the RAM. But very important thing to create a virtual machine. Normally, if you are create a virtual machine in a VMware workstation or a virtual box, vSphere host, in a vSphere host also you created, I created virtual machine, right? There, that time also it is asking what type of operating system you want to install, Windows, Linux, or a BSD or Unix kind of stuff. It is asking in names and versions also. But in a Hyper-V, it don't ask any type of operating system type or a architecture type or a like a 32-bit machine or 64-bit machine. It don't ask anything. Okay, or a Windows or Linux, it won't ask you. um, it won't ask you which edition, like you are installing Windows 10 or a Windows 8 or a Windows Server 2016 or a Server 2019, or maybe you want to install a mm, Red Hat 7 or Red Hat 6 or CentOS 7 or CentOS 6. It won't ask you any question. Only thing is there is a only two options for a virtual machine purpose. Means what kind of virtual machine you are there. So that is generation 1 and generation 1 and generation 2. I will change the spellings once I will check it. Yes. First of all, I will tell generation 2, then you can understand a generation 1. Okay. What is this generation 2? Generation 2 is introduced in a Windows 2012. It means if you want to install Windows operating system, mainly Windows 12 and later versions like 2012 or 2016 or 2019 servers. So when you say server, compulsory Windows servers you have to put it. Never say server, always it's a Windows server. And never say it is Windows, always say Windows servers. Next, Windows desktop type like a 8, 8.1 or a 10 or maybe in a future 11 kind of stuff. Next, 64-bit operating systems only. So if you want to install any 64-bit, of these editions only. It supports only these editions, not a earlier of Windows. It won't support earlier of Windows operating system, and it won't support 32-bit. By default, firmware or firmware, sorry, whatever it is, like UEFI only. It is by default UEFI firmware interface. Okay, by default. So this is the condition of generation 2. All other things, it means it support any type of guest OS, support both 32-bit and 64-bit also. Okay, 32-bit operating system, 64-bit operating system, any operating system, any kind of Windows operating system, anything, any edition of Windows operating system, both earlier and new one, and Linux based operating systems, Unix, or anything, 32-bit type and 64-bit it support. And by default, you can't change anything, just it's a BIOS support, BIOS base. So BIOS means your disk type is MBR type of disk. UEFI means it's a GPT type of disk. GPT type operating system, GPT type of disk. Anybody doesn't know what is MBR and GPT, please tell me. I don't explain now. I will explain later. Okay. But please tell me if you don't know what is MBR, what is GPT, what is BIOS, what is UEFI. Okay. So generation 1 support any guest operating system like Windows or Linux kind of stuff. Okay, 32-bit and 64-bit operating system, and firmware is BIOS type of thing. Means your ROM chip is BIOS type. It means your disk type is MBR type. This is UEFI and GPT. It support secure boot because of it is UEFI. UEFI, because of that one it is support secure boot. Next, generation 2. In generation 2, OS, we can install OS, guest operating system, media. What I'm saying, it is the media location kind of stuff. One is ISO images. Next one is network, installation through network, or one more option is there, that is later. So if you have ISO images like this, okay, good. Otherwise you have to install with a network. It won't support CD or DVD and floppy disk, floppy disk kind of stuff. In generation 1, installation support, you want to install a particular operating system, then which operating system you are install, that can be in a ISO images. Okay, or it can be in your CD DVD. Okay, it can be in your CD DVD. ISO can be CD DVD. Okay, and we can install through network. Okay, and we can install like we can connect a floppy disk, means virtual floppy disk, not a physical floppy disk. So always floppy disk goes down. Okay, so physical floppy disk are not there anyway, so virtual floppy disk. Okay, it support virtual floppy disk also. Guys, understand generation 1 and generation 2. I will show you that things also. What happened here? Why it is taking too much time? No. Okay, now it is going on. Okay, finally we copied two things. One is Windows Server, another one is a um, Linux machine. Okay, so both images I copied, and here is a my E drive Hyper V. So in this one only virtual machines will store, and also I changed that settings from my in a default Hyper V settings. So I'm going to Hyper V settings again. I will show you. So by default earlier it is different settings are there. Now what I done, I changed my settings to whenever you install a virtual machine. Okay, so virtual machine and their virtual hard disk stores in different locations. So this is default location. I change it to E drive. That's it. Is anyone ready? Very good. So 25 plus 12. Okay, so careful. Like here also power frustrations are there. Like they are giving power, and within a 2 to 5 minutes, they're they cutting and giving power again in 5 minutes. Again after 15 to 16 minutes, again they reconnected. Afternoon also they done. Okay, guys, can I go to create a virtual machine? Then of course I will show you virtual hard disk also. But currently I will show you how to create a virtual machine in this one. Can we proceed? Or any doubt or confused? No understand. I don't do like yesterday, guys. Like keep silent, like you know, watching a silence movie. Also, I don't give that much of horror to me. Mhm. Again, same position as yesterday. Afternoon means it's like a horror movie. Okay, Ras trying to say something, so I understand. Proceed only. Okay, so we'll create a virtual machine. Um, I'm going to use a magnifier in my physical machine. Okay, so but it will create some little bit slow, but it's okay. Morning itself I have to show that one. Morning when I use when I creating those things also I have to use it, but I didn't use it. Forget. Okay, so magnifier is open. um, so guys, can you able to see new in a right hand side new? Click on a new, then you can find virtual machines, hard disk, flappy disk. So how to create a virtual machine here? So I'm clicking virtual machine. Okay. So here it is. Before you begin, something is given. Finish to create a virtual machine, configure and default values like that. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to close. Just I click on a new. I am clicking on a outside of this one. Okay. Very good. Next, I'm clicking on a new virtual machine. This is the first screen. Next, here it is. You have to give virtual machine name. So I'm giving win. Yes. Okay. Mm, so okay, win as core one. Windows Server. Otherwise, I'll give a proper name like a Win Server Core One. I mean core I'm installing. So you want to store in different location or a default location. You can see default location or a different location. You can tell different locations also. So I'm putting my machine name here. Not required actually. It will create under this one. We'll see what happens. Okay. So what I done, so I given a virtual machine name and location, default location only. Just I'm going to next. Can you see generation 1 and generation 2? Generation 1 and generation 2. Just if possible, read it. If it is very small letters, then we can see. Okay. This generation 2 I am reading. This virtual machine guest this virtual machine generation provides support for newer virtualization feature as a UEFI based firmware and requires and support 64-bit guest operating system. Yeah, that is a new thing. Earlier they mentioned the version also. So if you have internet into server, you have to click this one. More about virtual machine generation support. This virtual machine generation support 32-bit, 64-bit guest operating system provide virtual hardware which has been available in all previous versions of Hyper-V. Okay, all previous versions, everything will be support. Like generation 1 is a common for everything. Generation for any OS, any bit kind of OS it is, we can use it for generation 1. Generation 2 only for 64-bit and UEFI based operating systems. So you have to list out those thing kind of stuff. In generally, as I know earlier, that is the mention generation 2 the specifically mentioned for Windows operating systems only, not a Linux purpose. But they didn't mention any Windows now. So once virtual machine has created, you cannot change its generation. So once it is created, you cannot change it to from generation 2 to generation 1 or generation 1 to generation 2. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I will select generation 1 and I will show you some options here. So I selected a generation 1 first, then I will change it to generation 2 before I finish it. Startup memory, it is showing 1024. It means whenever you start your virtual machine, automatically the memory, okay, memory is allocated to 1 GB RAM memory. This is the RAM memory. So starting one. For example, a virtual machine. Oh, okay, this is the one. So I have another one. No saving, right? So then I will this kind of part. See, here it is. I have a virtual machine. When I start this virtual machine, so virtual machine having a you can assign 2 GB, 3 GB kind of stuff. But when I assign something, just for example, 1024, minimum you have to assign 512, depends upon settings. Okay, you can reduce less than 1 by 2 also. So minimum is 1 512 MB minimum virtual machine startup memory. So what is this startup memory? When you start a virtual machine, if you give this startup memory, virtual machine starts with this memory. Virtual machine starts with this memory. It means 1 GB. With 1 GB, virtual machine will start for starting purpose only. Just like you put a bike key and given a gear, right? So first gear or something, like you given a gear, remove from the neutral, and you start the bike for starting purpose only. We can say, so you are started from home by bike. So because your mom and dad is came out and saying bye for you, and you very good boy, so then you slowly go for a bike, right? So like that, it is a startup memory, startup speed. Okay, next, virtual machine, once it is started, it may require more memory. It may require more than 1 GB. It automatically increase its memory size. For example, it required 1.5 GB RAM to run this virtual machine with internal services and all. Then it consumes more RAM from your PC. Okay. Next, for example, services are not running. Virtual machine is not that much consuming. For example, my physical machine is consuming currently 4 to 6 GB. It is consuming. If I go to my desktop, then it consumes very less, because very less applications and background services are very less. Then it consumes less. For example, it is only taking virtual machine for current load on a virtual machine. In the virtual machine, current load is 700 MB. Then it will reduce to 700 MB. So this is for a, when you start a virtual machine, this is the startup memory. If virtual machine is required more memory than 1 GB, it take memory from your physical RAM. Okay. If virtual machine is not using that much of 1 GB memory, it is using less than that one, it it is take less only. Okay. Like that. What is this? There is a meeting at 4 o'clock, guys. Okay, so I need a 15 minutes break from there. Okay, but something is a notification occur. Okay, so we continue this installation. So this is a use dynamic memory for this machine. Okay, so when you select this one, so what I said it is, so when based on your virtual machine, how much it is required, it consumes that much. If it is a less consumption, less use of your physical RAM. If it is a more, then it is used more than your given memory. This is only for startup only. Specify the amount of memory to allocate this virtual machine. You can specify the amount from 32 MB through, okay, something around 12 GB it is. GB and TB. It is around 10 TB. It is like 12 TB. It is around. You don't. So maximum power itself 4 GB, right? 4 terabyte. Then how 12 terabyte is will be there? We have to calculate into GB again. To improve performance, specify more than a minimum amount of recommended for operating system. Okay, I am using server core. Server core required 512 MB. Server core is required 512 MB only, but I given more. Startup memory is also important. Memory. Okay. So whatever it is. Next one is dynamic. Use dynamic memory. Okay. So use dynamic memory for this virtual machine. Okay. Use dynamic memory for this virtual machine. So this is another. This is option. Okay, this is option, and this is a like that one. So I given 1024, but for a run to install it is one 12 is enough for a server core. When you decide how much memory to assign virtual machine, consider how you intended to use virtual machine and operating. Then it is will be run like that. Okay. And connection. So it is showing which it is connection which adapter you want to add it. So it is not connected by default, but you can select which one you want it. So I'm selecting external one, or maybe I will select an internal one, or I will select a private. So it depends upon my requirements. I will use it. So here I use internal switch for this one. I don't want any internet kind of stuff. I will assign every IP address manually. I will try it, otherwise I will change it back. I'm using internal. It means this virtual machine can communicate to my server only. Virtual machine is can communicate my server, not to my physical network. So this is a hard disk Vhdx it is showing. And how much minimum requirement for a Windows server is around 20 GB, 16 GB is enough, but I'm giving 64 GB, maximum 64 terabytes we can able to use it. If you have any extra hard disk, then you can, means already created hard disk is there, then you can select this one, otherwise you can select like this. Okay, so here it is 64 GB, and see the location e drive hyper-v, your server name, it means virtual machine name slash virtual hard disk. Now have you seen these options, are we taken from here? Okay, now these are installation options. What are the installation options? You can see here it is install later, bootable drive. Okay, bootable cd dvd, it means physical dvd is there connected, then you have to select here. Or you can use iso image file, browse the iso image file, connect it. You can use the flappy disk drive dot vfd. What is the format of that virtual disk file? Is here it is dot vfd, virtual floppy disk, and it is network based installation. So these are options you will get it in a generation one. I selected generation one. So later means later you can install, maybe you can change some hardware settings for that one. You can use your physical cd dvd, or you can use iso image. You can install with a floppy disk if in case it is in the floppy disk, virtual floppy disk. Or you can use your network based installation through wds server, you can able to install. Network based means through wds server you can able to install it. If you go to next, it is going to the summarize. I'm not going to finish it because mine is a server, it is a 64-bit. So I got a chance to select generation 1. So I am selecting generation 1. I change from generation 1 to generation 2. Sorry, generation 2, because my voice is 64-bit Windows Server 2019. It is UEFI based operating system. So I have a choice of putting generation 2. Then I'll go next, next, next. Because already these options are given, just you have to verify generation 2. Startup memory 1 GB, dynamic memory, connection is internal switch, hard disk is 64-bit is okay, 64 GB is okay because it's showing 127 GB, but I'm by default 127 GB. Now I said no, 64 is enough. Can you see these options are reduced? This is the generation 2 options. You can see operating system later, or you can use ISO image or network based installation. So I'm using ISO image only. No CD DVD, no floppy disk. No CD DVD, no floppy disk. So image file, browse, image file, browse. Okay, E drive. So this is my server image. This is my server image. Okay, I selected it. Sir want to join. Okay. So Madhu sir is going to join. Okay. Um, Image. I select ISO image. So it is in E drive. I selected it. Next. Now this is the what are the selections I given. Name of the server. Sorry, name of the virtual machine. Generation 2. Memory is 1 GB. Internal switch. Hard disk. So how much hard disk I given? Dynamically expanding virtual hard disk I given. Vhdx format. I will explain VHD, VHDX kind of stuff. So now it is operating system will be installed from this image. Now finish it and wait. So now it is creating a virtual machine only. Okay, it take little bit time, like a 1 minute like that. It will take time. No one is waiting here. Only 25 from here. This is 12. Afternoon effect. Okay. So if you look at this one, yeah, I didn't take the finish part. Okay, this is my virtual machine. State is off condition. Okay, where is this? It making sound but connected, not connected. Okay. Okay, so this is off condition. I'm double click and open. Or you can go to this, sorry, this bottom options. So then you can manage, connect, settings, start. Okay. If you want to delete it, delete, export, move, checkpoint, uh, settings, connect, and start, enable replication and help. So these are options you are getting in a right side. I'm going to settings first. I think yeah, Saris came. Hi sir.
Hi, hi Latif.
Hi
Am I
sir.
audible?
Audible sir.
So, hi guys. Hello, all of you. Very. Hello, Madhu. I hope all of you are doing good. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Could you please put all of your mics to mute, no, just for a while because there's a lot of resound that I'm getting. Please. Okay. Well, guys, I just want to share a couple of things. So today by evening, I'll be sharing a couple of questions to you guys about objective questions that what you may get. I have prepared questions on networking and Windows as well, right? I'll be sharing them today at around 7 o'clock or so. Okay, I'll be sharing them with you, so you can start preparing on them. Okay, right? So please plan your day wisely and make sure that you are ready with that, right? And one more thing, guys. Just give me a minute, no? Just give me a minute. Latif,
Sir.
I think I'm getting a meeting request from Pavani.
Yes,
Please
sir.
continue with the. You just please continue with the session, okay? I'll talk to our team a little later, guys. Really sorry for it. So it seems like there is some emergency from Pavani, right? I'll meet you in few minutes. I'm
Okay,
very
I'm also
very
getting,
sorry
sir,
for that.
same.
Okay. No, no, you don't need to attend because you're already in the session. You don't need to. Okay.
Okay, okay.
I'll inform her. Okay, not a problem. Thank you, guys. I'll meet you in few minutes.
I forget to pause the record. So it is our voice is also in now YouTube. Okay, very good. Okay, we'll continue. Okay, so add hardware. So if you want to add a SCSI controller or network adapter, extra network adapter, or a fiber channel adapter, so we can add that hardware to it. Voice is not audible now. So 1 second, I will verify. Yeah, it is got muted because any some network disturbance it happens. Mm, yeah, go to meeting network volume now. Guys, can you able to hear from this one like Google Meet? Guys, can you able to hear?
Yes, audible.
Okay. There again, it is setting in this one. See, it is okay. Um, I'll pause the video for us. Resume. Okay, hardware. So you can able to add SCSI when machine is off condition only. We can change certain settings. Certain settings on condition also we can able to change it. Okay, so you want to add a new any hardware, then usually off condition is required. We'll see that one also. We'll see this is off condition. What are the options are available in on condition? What options are available? Also we can see. Okay. Next one is firmware. Firmware is boot from DVD type. Like it is image. It is showing a boot from image network and hard disk. So what is this? It is boot order. It is boot order. You want to boot from CD DVD first. If in case in CD you don't have a means in this image you don't have a operating system and boot from network and then check in a hard disk like that boot order BIOS boot order is there no? Like that only. So we can move up and down also like this. Okay, we can move up and down also. Next, security. Enable secure boot is already selected. Use secure boot to help prevent unauthorized code from running at a boot time. Okay, so enable secure boot. Secure boot only possible with the UEFI option. Memory. So startup memory is it is showing 1024 and enable dynamic memory. It means lower memory is 512, not less than 512. High memory it is this one. And memory buffer 20% memory buffer is available and memory weight. So these options just you have to read it. That's it. Okay. Next, processors. So I'm using only one single processor. Number of virtual processors are one. Virtual machine reserve percentages. Virtual machine limit 100% total system resources like that. It means we can reserve those resources to a particular virtual machine. Means lot of virtual machines are running, and for example, my machine is off. My virtual machine is off now, and meanwhile some other virtual machines consuming resources, and I started my virtual machine, my VM1 I started. Now it is saying like resources are unavailable. Then it is very difficult to run, right? So then better you have to reserve certain instance for that one. And also there is a plus mark. It means compatibility. Migrate to physical computer with a different processor version. It means when you do live migration from one system to another system, for example, first machine is Intel i5, second machine is Intel i3, another machine is AMD processor. Okay, first are okay Intel, but another one is AMD. So sometimes in a Microsoft, so one platform, when you run a virtual machine in one platform, cannot migrate it to another different processor version. So to avoid that one, so they introduce this one, processor compatibility. You can limit number of you can limit the processor feature that virtual machine can use. Improve virtual machine compatibility with a different processor version. This is a new one again. Of course I forget about this one. This is a old one, but this compatibility is introduced in 2019. So you can migrate the machine to any different versions also. Okay, you can select a no selected no problem at present, because we don't had a more thing. So configuration, NUMA configuration it is. Select maximum number of processor and memory act on a single virtual non-uniform memory architecture. Okay, like that. By default, all are a single processor, a single NUMA nodes. That again we have to take care. That we will explain. This is a SCSI controller. If you want to add any extra hard disk, DVD, or shared drives are there, so you can able to attach it in a SCSI. So you can see this is a hard disk. In a hard disk, you can sorry. This is my hard disk. So where it is connected, SCSI controller, location 0 1, like that it is there, SCSI. So when storage is started, I will explain the SCSI, then you have to relate it to it. Okay, this is a media where your virtual machine is there. You want to inspect about this virtual machine, you can click it. So then you can find your virtual disk is a main hard disk or some differencing type of hard disk. How much currently it is there? What is the maximum size, location, dynamically expanding disk, Vhdx format? We are getting that one. If you want to use a physically connected device for a virtual machine, physical hard disk also you can use it in this one. This is quality of the services. Okay, I think in your PPT, I'm sorry, in a document, I removed this one. Earlier, I added it and I removed this one because it's become more and more. Okay, so what is this? Quality of service means data transmission rate to the disk. So DVD, image file. That's it. It is not a big deal. Network adapter. So this is my current network adapter is internal switch. If I want to change, then I can change it like this. Hardware acceleration and advanced features also there here. So dynamic MAC address, you can specify a MAC address also. If you want to do MAC spoofing, also you can do MAC spoofing. DHCP guard, Okay, see here it is DHCP guard. It guard your virtual machine from unauthorized some virtual machine something. They said I'm a DHCP server, so it will for a protection. It will get it. Yeah, this is we know. This is the new one, little new one, but I don't have a space to read everything. But this is a very good one. This is also new one. I never seen this DHCP guard in old versions. Rotor guard, protect network is last, right? Max spoofing is there. NIC teaming is there. Port mirroring. Okay. Port mirroring. Device naming. Like this. Hardware actually enable machine queue kind of stuff. Sorry. Okay. If you want to change the name, then you can change it. Integrated services. Okay, operating system shutdown, time synchronization, data exchange, heartbeats. Do you remember yesterday? Heartbeats, backup, shadow volume copy, some if you want anything and guest services like that. So these services integrated with your physical machine. For example, physical machine is shut down, virtual machine will be shut down. So physical machine time changes, time also changes like that. This is a checkpoint. You have to read it only once, these things. So this is about a checkpoint. So what is a checkpoint? Okay, so remind me that one also. I will explain checkpoint. Why we need a virtual machine over a physical machine. So one of the advantage of virtual machine using is a checkpoint or a sn- this one. What is this? Snapshot. Okay, so that is a main advantage. Smart paging location, it means virtual memory will use this location. Automatic start action, so when I start my physical machine, is my virtual machine should be automatically or stop. Stop action is also same thing, but it is giving so read it. What do you want this virtual machine to do when the physical machine starts? Automatically start if it is running when service is stop, means when virtual machine is running, I shut down my physical machine, so then virtual machine is also shut down, right? So if I start my virtual machine, automatically virtual machine runs, means previously it is running condition, then it will run now. If previously it is off before I shut down my physical machine, it is off now. And next one is automatically start, whatever it is the condition, once physical machine is started, automatically start the virtual machine. Next is stop action. So you work with your virtual machine and you done the changes. When you are shutting down your virtual machine or a physical machine, what to do? Save the virtual machine state. It means uh, uh, Hyper-V will reserve disk space equal to amount of memory when it is running in a physical shutdown. So it will. What are the last stage? What are you doing in a last time? So like you are running some application in a virtual machine, and you shut down your physical machine. So what is the last stage of the machine? It means some application is running. So it will save that stage like a hibernate. You know the hibernate? Hibernate means if I hibernate this PC, currently all Windows, browser, Notepad, everything is open, right? So same, it will be stored in my PC. Like last condition, what is the running processor, current running processor, it will be like that only when I turn off the machine. So that is called as save the virtual machine state. Turn off the virtual machine. If you shut down the machine, shut down the virtual machine. Shut down the guest operating system, turn off. That is the thing. So I put a saved machine time. So these are the settings. If you once you are create a virtual machine, so if you want to change anything, better to look at once how to change it. Okay, I'm not doing anything. Just I'm going to connect it. Okay, machine is created. Now I am connecting it. Just connect. So machine is open. Not at power on. It is not at power on. So you have to power on this machine. Okay. Now, if you want to change anything, you can change it like media, view, action, start, checkpoint, like that. You can do it. Help is also there. Then start. So mission is starting. Then let it start. It will take again time. Mainly for Windows servers, hypervisor practicals, we can do it. So and as well as Sar also told about practical point all there. Yes, of course, that is in the syllabus they mention practical, no practical kind of stuff. Some practicals, it is the environment we can't able to call that environment into your environment. Like I try to show vCenter, right? That is 12 GB. Finally, I found a solution, but solution is correct, and then after it is not working. Yesterday, two times I removed my vCenter. Two times or three times, maybe four times. It's like almost like more than three times. I removed, recreated, again added, again some mistake. Finally, I got it. Then it is not working. It is showing some other error. Okay. If you see this one, you can see here it is a CPU usage is 0. Assigned memory is not yet assigned. It is starting. It is not yet started. So it should be started. Start. 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 I am going to close few things in a background. One is a server manager. Many background services, because we are using 4 GB RAM for this Windows server. So it is not enough size. Also, network connections. Okay, mm, like that. Anything is extra, please try to close that one. Maybe it is got freeze. Server manager is not responding. Okay, no problem. It is not a big deal. Okay, note down any doubt or any terminology. Please tell me once we have a time in a classroom itself. Okay, so I will try to explain. Morning, you guys are asked question, so it is given a lot of interested in afternoon for me. 98% CPU utilized, 61 memory utilization. Okay, out of 4 GB, currently it is not started. That's why it is showing 1.5 GB. Okay, uh, already I told that kind of stuff, right? So no extra is running. Okay, Why it is showing starting? If I close this one, what will happen? Nothing will happen. See, it is showing starting mode only. I can access my hypervisor core from my physical machine because of this power off and on. So that is why I'm not connecting my physical machine here. Sorry, my desktop here. Again, I connected. See, my system is also very intelligent. Yeah, now the starting condition is changed to running condition. Can you see? It is showing running. Then it is starting to running and CPU utilization is 5%. Okay, minimize. Assigned memory is 1024 and it is dynamically assigned. So it took 1024 memory currently in a starting. But when machine is running means for installation and everything, once it is running then obviously it will reduce. It's a taking memory. But for starting only it will take this one. Now CPU utilizing more. 1.6 it is showing currently. It is in to full screen mode. That is very dangerous. Boot from CD DVD. Then I didn't give an enter kind of stuff. Okay. So Alt Control end. Okay. Alt Control end for a Alt Control delete for a Hyper V. Alt Control end. Enter button. Boot from CD DVD. Now OS is loading. Loading files is showing here. You have to monitor your task manager and as well as here also. Okay, and if this is some memory, go to memory. So how much memory it is utilizing and what are their condition thing. Networking and replication. Networking is one single adapter which such is connected, so like that we can get it. It's loading. See, normally if you install a machine in a, for example, Lenovo logo it will shows, then it will convert into, then Windows logo will show, na, like that. VMware logo, now it is showing Hyper-V logo. That's it. This is like a full screen type. Connection info, security info, pin. So from here on onwards it's a common, like how you install operating system, we can do it. Okay, now Windows Server 2019, English India. Next, install now. How much time it is taking? This is also showing uptime. Yeah, we got a screen. Yeah, tell me which option I have to select. You have to speak. Messages I can't able to read now.
Desktop.
First one, second one, third one, fourth one.
Second.
For server core,
First.
this option omits most of the Windows Server environment. Manages with a command prompt and PowerShell remotely with a admin Windows Admin Center. This is GUI mod. This is GUI mod. Standard data center GUI mod, like a normal our server. This is a core servers. Standard array data centers. This is core. So you can select first one or select one, because if it is also GUI mod, it will take 2 GB RAM. I have 4 GB RAM physically, and if it is take 2 GB RAM, and how much for this PC, so it is become very slow. So I select data center evolution. I select data center evolution core, not a GUI. So I need a just a pinging like machine installation, not required GUI. Okay. Accept licenses. Next, custom, because it's a fresh machine. Custom, and 64 GB hard disk it is showing. Select this one. New, apply. Okay. Then hard disk will be split into 4 parts or 3 parts. It's a GPT type of hard disk, because I selected a generation 2. The disk is automatically GPT type, UEFI frame rate type. It's taking too much time. Okay, like this one, because it's a GPT type of hard disk, it will split the hard disk into 4 parts or 3 parts. Okay, so recovery system MSR result primary. In the primary, fourth one, actually operating system will store. These are for a use it to recovery purpose, protection purpose. Next, it is installing. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to select one option called a shift F10. That will gives a command prompt on the screen. So don't worry how I open kind of stuff. I use a shift F10. Okay, task mgr to open the task manager on the screen. Okay, so first of all go to the process, sorry, go to this Windows setup, right click. It is not required to do every time, because I don't want to forget these options. I want to keep practicing on this one. I am changing the priority of the process, but actually it is on the high priority process only. Why it is struck here? Why it is showing physical memory 83% CPU utilize, like that. Go to file, exit task manager. Next, disk PA30. Why it is? disk part. It is installing in background, so don't worry about that one. Just I want to show you whether it is GPT or not from here also. Disk part is a command to do disk management. List disk. Now it is showing GPT star. It means it's a UFM also. Then it is automatically disk type is GPT disk, size of the disk. It is a disk 0. So I'm exiting from disk part, and also I'm exiting from here. Just I don't want to go with much. It is 10%. So obviously after some time it will go for it will install and reboot automatically. And if you see it is going on, so you can see it is running condition. Even though if you open this machine or close this machine, not a problem. Okay, just if you close this one, installation will continue because this is a display terminal, unlike your VMware virtual machine kind of stuff, VMware workstation kind of stuff. Okay, if you close this one you will get a problem, but here it is, if you go close this one, it's okay, it will install automatically whenever we want it. Whenever you want to check it, you can connect it from there. Better to close anything extra. Now, can you see I assigned 1024, but it is showing 12 like that. No, 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 don't end the process. Don't end the process. 1.4 available. No problem. Yeah. Okay, so see, I close that one, but you can see it consuming more than 1024. Why? Because dynamic memory. So, how much it is required, it keep increase that one. If you want to see, you can connect it. You want to pause it, you want to save it, you want to checkpoint, export, move, rename, like that also we are getting here. Just I'm connecting again. I don't want to mix up the things. Actually, I plan to tell virtual hard disk kind of stuff meanwhile it is installing. Don't, no, no, better not to mix up. Like yesterday I got a, today I got a clarify that you got confused between vSphere and VM Hyper-V. Okay, so let it install, guys. Just only I want to tell, this is Hyper-V. I created a virtual machine. I'm installing Windows Server 2019 core operating system in it, and I'm using internal switch. Okay, just I'm pause the just keep running the recording, and we'll mute for some time. Mm, come back at 520. 520 is okay, or 620 is better. If I say 620, then people will come after 620. Eh? 520, be back at 520, 15 minutes break, have a tea or coffee, get something energy, because few more things I have to tell, mainly in a disk management, and one or two extra concept. That's it for a Hyper-V, and monitoring of Hyper-V is there. So I will try to finish that one also today if possible. Okay, otherwise forget about it. That's it. Tomorrow I will start the storage. Or vCenter if you are interested. If you want to know again vCenter, vSphere again, so then I will do. Okay, okay. Guys, take a break because it is already 39%. So within 15 minutes it will be installed also. So let it install because it is how it will done it we can see. Only thing is I am muting in both the places like this. Yeah, 520. Very good. Mute, mute.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what happened to it? We made it has to show something, right? Still, it is showing booting only. Now CPU utilization is 12% and assigned memory is like this. After reboot, it is take 2 minutes, but still it is going on. It's okay. We'll wait for some little bit time. Yeah, it is starting services. You see. It's taking time, a lot of time. Okay, so yeah, one more is there, no checkpoint. Any guys, any doubts regarding Hyper-V or Hyper-V settings or a virtual machine in a Hyper-V virtual machine? Please tell me. Might is taking this much of time. I don't understand. It won't take much time because 1 GB. Anyone, any doubt, please ask me. Your voice is low, Vishaka. Tell me again. Or put it in a text also. Any questions? Guys, can you able to hear? I put a mic off or on. This is off. This is on. Yeah. Finally, we got a machine. So we'll change it to a little bit lower one. So 1024768 is okay. Just connect it. It will reconnect it. So I change the screen size. That's it. Other, I'm switching to my full screen mode of virtual machine. So just it will display something. Blank screen. Yeah, very good. Okay, so this is my screen. So I installed a server core. Actually, it will show what? So problem with the machine only. It will show one CMD prompt, command prompt, but it is not showing. That's the problem. Yeah, it is coming. Please enter like this one. Okay, first one is here. It is my total system is low. So don't put in a. Yeah, this is of course. Yeah, now it is came because I'm in a record mode, mute mode. I don't know. It is in record mode. It is also in record mode. No muting. No one is sending. Okay. So this is my virtual machine. First of all, administrator user password must change before sign in. Okay. Click enter. Select OK and enter. OK. And give the password. So first time password. I'm giving admin password. Enter. Now password is applied. If you select a desktop experience, must you have to, okay, password is changed. Okay. Now it is loading. So in this server core, so what are the supported roles in the server core? I can install it, I can manage it, I can work on it also. Currently, we are not in the domain environment. Otherwise, we can connect this um, virtual machine environment from our physical machine also. Means from here also. So this is a simple command prompt. Sconfig. Command is sconfig. So if you give sconfig for configuration of this PC. Okay. So here you can see in the screen, it is a small screen, but just okay, I will put it in this mode. Yeah. Now the screen is okay. So you can see work domain and work group. It is in work group currently. This is my server core computer name. Add local administrator. Configure remote management is enabled. Okay, remote desktop is disabled. Network settings, date and time, telemetry settings unknown, Windows activation, log off user, restart server, shutdown server, exit to command line. So if I put a 15, then it will go to command line again. So if you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of stuff, so then obviously um, we have to follow that numbers wise only. This is a server core interface. You can take it from here. See, I'm going to network settings. Okay, eighth one. So this is the current IP. Now I want to select index number is 1. Okay, index number is 1, and you want to set network address, yes, 1. So you want a static means yes, and I'm entering some IP address 10.0.0. This is like 10. Anything I can give. So by default it is a 255.0.0.0 gateway. We don't have any gateway here. Okay, so maybe gateway, no gateway I given. So this is my current IP address. Now you want to return to main menu, so fourth one. Okay, now this is the virtual machine is running with a particular IP address. I'm putting 15 to exit from this window, and I'm typing ipconfig. So I got a IP address 10.0.0.0 IP address I assigned to this virtual machine. Don't close this one. If you want to close your virtual machine, you can close it. So I'm minimizing my virtual machine, and you can see it is showing less than 1024. Okay, and this virtual machine is connected to internal. Yeah, see it is IP address is also showing here in this one. Okay, so I'm going to yeah, it is showing the connection is internal switch. It is showing connection is internal switch. So I'm going to my internal switch. Okay, internal switch 1, it is connected to internal switch 1, and it does not have any IP address, so then I will assign IP address to internal switch also. What is internal switch? Physical machine to virtual machine communication, right? So here 10.0.0 dot maybe 1 is okay for currently. No default gateway, nothing, just give a subnet mask, click OK, close and close. So IP address is assigned. If you want to check, you can check it again. I think I need a 8 GB machine. So this is IP address assigned for internal switch, and for this one I assign 10.0.0.10. Now I'm going to my physical machine CMD. Physical machine means Windows Server. Ping 10.0.0.10. I'm pinging from my Windows Server to virtual machine. First time now it is searching where it is located. So that's why it is showing request timed out, or maybe no communication, or maybe firewall. I think so. It is because of firewall I'm getting like this. So I'm going to my virtual machine. Okay. Um, so s config is any firewall related is there. Actually earlier firewall related also there. So network settings. No. Blank to cancel. Network settings are 8. Firewall is not given here. IP address is okay. Return to main menu, network address. That's it only. And so firewall is not given here. Actually, that is removed. Okay. So I will try from my physical machine to sorry, virtual machine to physical machine. I am pinging. Maybe my server firewall is blocking that one. network and sharing center, server manager also, through file server manager also we can do it. Windows Defender firewall, turn off it. Okay, try now, from here to there, there to here. Yeah, now communication is going on. The firewall is blocking the communication, so ping is successful from my virtual machine to physical machine. And how to turn off in my virtual machine. Okay, so virtual machine to physical machine communication is there, because in my physical machine I turn off my firewall, but in virtual machine still firewall is maybe giving a problem, so we have to how to turn off it. I'm going to PowerShell here. That's a GUI mode is better. CLI mode you have to learn again. You have to use this command, set net firewall profile. First of all, get hyphen net firewall profile. Get means get the information. Any filter command hyphen profile it is given. Hmm. So this is a firewall what are enabled, what are disabled. So it is giving that in thing. So enable true is there. So we have to make enable false, and three firewalls are there. So that these things. Okay. Set firewall. Bah. Okay. So hyphen profile. Okay. So domain private public enable dollar, sorry, enable equal to no colon only, dollar false, error. Okay, this is correct. Okay. And this is get firewall false. Okay, firewall is stopped at here, then try from physical machine to communicate. Now communicate, see. So finally we created a virtual machine. The virtual machine I installed Windows Server 2019 core. Core means you don't get anything from there. Okay, and we can able to communicate our physical machine to virtual machine because of internal switch. If you want external switch also, you can change it to external switch, and you can try from others also, like the switching also I will show you. Like you can go to settings, change switch from internal switch to external switch. We can change options, but we may not be added. So like add hardware, you can see you can add a network adapter, but you cannot add these things. Okay, if you want extra network adapter also, you can add it. Just I'm adding extra network adapter, like this, you can add it. If you want to change, you can change it. Which switch you want to connect it, you can change it from here. Or you want to add an adapter, you can add an adapter from here also. Okay, so this is adapter 1, adapter 2, means this PC now having two NICs while system is running. So it is possible in from 2016. So change option also, when server is live, we can add an extra network adapter. So this is an external switch. Apply. Okay, now check it. 1 second. I will get IP addresses, right? So then I will how to check IP address in PowerShell. Get IP address. Two adapters. One adapter is given as a static. Another adapter is can be in a dynamic, right? So yeah. See, I got a another IP address 192.168.2.150 to my other adapter. So how I got it? Because of external switch. Because of external switch. So through external switch, I can communicate it to my physical machine as well as to my virtual machine. So that is IP address is 192.168.2.150. Yes, I can able to communicate my virtual machine from my physical machine. From external, external means my laptop is also external. Guys, if it is not communicate, don't worry, don't worry about that one, because it's internal to internal kind of stuff. There is a possibility of not communicating kind of stuff is there. Yeah, it is communicating from my laptop also. Understand? So that is a external switch. So 2.150 is from external switch. What is this? Okay, so my machine from for example, this is my virtual machine. I want to ping 192.168.2.190.182 is my Windows Server 2019 main server. So I can ping to that one. 224, sorry, 224 is my physical machine. Yes, I can able to communicate from here to there through external switch. Okay, I have a two adapters are there. I have a two adapters are there. I connected it, so I can change it to one only, but just for fun I added to make a difference between internal switch and external switch, like this one. See, so this one is internal switch 10 dot series. I can communicate from my physical machine to virtual machine. And this is external switch. This is 192.168.2.150 for my virtual machine. So I can communicate from my physical machine to virtual machine, and any machine from the network I can able to communicate. And here it is assigned memory is less than 1024 because it not required that one. Okay, so this is how to create a virtual machine and how to check the networking also we done. Up to here okay or not okay?